Good morning, good evening, or whatever you are. Anyway, it's Steady Eddie here in the island of Penang in Malaysia, and it's 20 past 10 in the morning. Now, these time differences are so awkward. Uh, I mean, Thailand is 7 hours ahead of the UK and about 12 hours ahead of the States. Malaysia goes one better. We're 8 hours ahead of the UK. So it's 20 past 10 in the morning here. It's probably 20 past 2 a.m. in the morning. I'll get on with it anyway. Nice to see the people here. David Coleman, nice to see you there here. Roy Jones, super nice. Kiki and Jasmine of the Taylor Love. Good morning from Manila. Okay. Good morning to you. Manny Straven, good morning, Ed. Daniel Mills, yeah, he's answering the question. Where am I now? Daniel Mills, yes, definitely, 100%. The fool has made himself a target for Islamists. Yeah. And maybe those who surround him, maybe his loved ones. You know what I mean? Super nice. I guess I'm the only one from Europe. 3:30 a.m. here. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Europe. Daniel Mills, 2:20 a.m. in the UK. What's happened with Gary? I heard you from a warm mate. Good for you, mate. Anyway, Bernard Purcell, Manny Stroven. Good morning, Eddie from Pattaya. Okay, good for you. David Coleman, great time distance. So America will be at least, or Canada will be at least 13 hours behind this time. So it's, you wish that the world was all on the same time zone. Vietnam Viking, hello from Da Nang. Okay, we've got Pattaya, Canada, Da Nang, Philippines, Europe, all kinds of places here. Well, let me first of all tell you that this hotel where I'm staying, it's all right. It's in a really, really good location in Penang, but they're a bit stingy with the coffee. You know what I mean? You get 2 little sachets of coffee, and that's it. Well, I like about 6 cups of coffee first thing of a day. So there is a convenience store, across the road. So two little cups of coffee isn't enough for me. So I got up, and the first thing I did, I went across to the convenience store. I said, you have coffees. Yeah, you can make a cup there, and I said, no, not a made up coffee in the store. I want sachets of coffee to take back to the hotel. Oh no, we don't have that. Oh, Jesus Christ, we ended up buying these bloody chocolate milks. They're a bit stingy with the coffee here. Anyway, where are we now? Gregory Baldovic. Okay, great to hear from you, mate. David Coleman, you were looking good, Eddie. Really? Black t-shirt, no shave? John Quayle. Hi, Ed. Enjoying the videos. You're a class again. Keep them coming. Okay, fine. Thank you. HG2. HGW. Hello from Uranus. Oh, sounds like a bit of an a-hole. Gregory Baldovic. Portland, Maine. Very warm here. 17 Fahrenheit. Oh, geez, that sounds terrible. Let's see. Okay, let's get on with this questionnaire. David Philpott, morning. Time to go pretend to be a lecturer. Have a great day. And yes, they have overstepped. The mark. He must have broke the Official Secrets Act, regarding the killing. I agree. I mean, the thing is, I like Prince Harry, and okay, you've got to look at the background of it, haven't you? You've got to look at the background. I mean, he's a bit of an outcast. He's always been a bit of an outcast because the fact is that, maybe he's not a full-blooded member of the royal family. These rumors have been going on for ages. Maybe, he's not a proper. Maybe he's only the half brother to Prince William, who's going to be the future king. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why he felt like a spare. Okay, so he's bitter against the family and all that, but what he's done now is that he's revealed that during his time in Afghanistan, he killed 25 of the Taliban, in a helicopter striking. It was part of his duties, removing pieces from a chessboard, as he put it. I mean, the thing is, you just don't do that. I mean, I admired Harry. I got the feeling that out of the royals, Harry was probably my favourite because he was a genuine military man, and he had an empathy with the military. And I thought he would have put his life on the line, and he probably did. Yeah, to be, to fight in Afghanistan. He was a real bit of a hero as well as being a bit of a lad. But as I understand it, there are certain codes that you just do not break. When you leave the military, you do not go boasting about, and that is what he's done. There's no other reason word for it. He has boasted about killing the enemy, killing human beings in conflict. I mean, when you're in conflict, that's what they do. But you just don't boast about it in a book. You just don't do that. David Coleman, he doesn't like Harry. Chubba Wubba, Harry is nuttier than a fruitcake. David Coleman, look at his red hair. Come on, he's 100% only the half brother. He's 100% only the half brother. I don't know, maybe in a lone voice here, but sometimes I've seen images of Harry, pictures of Harry, and little films of Harry. And when I look at his nose, he does have Prince Charles' nose. He does have that. He does have some of the features of Prince Charles. I mean, other people would disagree with that. I can see a resemblance. I can see more of a resemblance between Harry and Charles than I can William and Charles. Maybe it was William. It was the one conceived the wrong way. Okay. Daniel Mills, woke Harry. I like Harry. I even like Meghan, even though she's, obviously she's a bit of a better watch me, because the thing is, she's notorious when people say things about, she reacts, doesn't she? She sues them. So what have we got now? What have we got? So here we go. Yeah. No, here's one here. Here's one. Can you see this? Can you see this? There you go, Prince Harry. Okay, so anyway, that's disappeared. Daily Mail, Prince Harry denies he boasted about killing 25 Taliban fighters in explosive memoir spare and blames Christmas for spinning his words and putting his family in danger in trailer. Okay, fair enough. He boasted about it. I mean, why tell anyone? He did, whether he used the word boast or not. I mean, I think he's broken the code. I'm not a military man at all, but I do believe he's broken the code. He has done something that you simply don't do. You simply do not reveal who you killed during your time of service. Okay, Chubba Wubba. I bet William would love to beat his ass. He's a pussy whip little boys. Pussy whip little boy, sadly. I'm really disappointed in Harry because honestly he was my favourite out of the royal family. He was a bit of a lad, he was going to orgies and all kinds of bloody things. But he was having his fun with the girls. He was filling his bit. I liked Harry. He was good. But then again, wait a minute. So was another royal in his day, Prince Andrew. When Prince Andrew was a young man. A young man in the Navy. Everybody I knew preferred Prince Andrew to Prince Charles because Prince Charles talked a plant, or King Charles as he is now. Whereas Harry, Andrew, he was a young man about town. He was knocking off models. He was shagging Q Stark and all these other people. You know what I mean? He was. Prince Andrew, but then it all went pear-shaped. And now similar with Harry. Harry was a great young man. He was really, really likable. He's a real military man. And now, look at him. He's pathetic. He has become pathetic. Really, really has. Who's this? Gregory Boldovic. Harry is a sad case with sad history, mental health, though who doesn't think the institution of royal family is evil and no different than any cutthroat corporate head? Well, I mean, I'm tempted to say it's a business, but it's an historical business, isn't it? David Coleman, Eddie, you got me laughing already. What is that about? Is that about the lack of coffee? I couldn't get hold of any coffee. Lee James, you didn't seem to enjoy your last trip, Eddie. Why was that? Which trip was that? I'm like constant trips. I'm tripping all the time, mate. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Cambodia or? Oh, you're talking about the one early this year. I'm not so sure which one you're talking about there, Lee. Let's see. Okay, yeah, when you're traveling, you have your ups and downs. You know what I mean? Travel doesn't always go rosy. I mean, when a couple of guys are in England and they're talking about travel and they're swapping travel stories, they make it sound like it's all rosy. It's 24 hours a day. You're constantly in a great frame of mind. You're partying, you're having fun, you're doing this, that, and the other. And really, if you strip travel down, travel has its negative parts as well. It has its negative parts. I mean, there's dull moments when you're traveling long distance on a bus or when you're stuck at an airport for an eternity and you're thinking to yourself, what am I doing? Travel has its ups and downs. You've got to accept that. But I'm an experienced traveler, if nothing else. David Coleman, no real man boasts about killing another human being. I know what you mean. I mean, to be fair, if it was the other way around, if it was the Taliban boasting about, wiping out, 25 British Tommies, then I can understand. I can understand that. I wouldn't put it past them. But we're British at the end of the day. We're supposed to be better than that, and. To actually, you just don't. Common sense should have stepped in, and he should have kept his mouth shut about that. He should not have revealed. He just shouldn't have done that. And now the repercussion is Harry's got a family. He's got his missus. He's got a couple of kids. I mean, what kind of security does Harry have? What kind of bodyguards does he have? Does he have lots of bodyguards around him all the time? Really, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that somewhere amongst the Taliban, I think, we're going to make an example of this jerk. We're going to, give him what's. Oh, geez, I don't want to, incite stuff like that. But they will. This news will get back to them in Afghanistan, and they will be thinking about this, and they will be thinking. Surely, there's someone who's going to be thinking, we can't let them get away with that. We're not going to let them get away with that. I mean, there's loads of nutters amongst these people. Loads of nutters. You give one of these nutters, a few bob, and he'll do anything for you. So Harry is open to can of worms. Really, he should have if he'd have stuck to slagging down Charles and Camilla and William and all the other royal family. They're fair enough, okay. I've no sympathy for people who've got millions of pounds. They're thick-skinned, they can take it. They're all bloody millionaires anyway, and they wouldn't give a damn about you or me. But with the military thing, boasting about that, he's overstepped a mark. He's done something extremely foolish. John Kay, Singapore Dan, good morning to you both. Chubba Wubba, I'm with you. When he was younger, I liked the kid. Then he meets this broad and he has lost all manhood and goodwill. Okay. David Coleman, 100%. Absolutely. Gregory Baldovic. Ed, will you be venturing back to Cambodia? Not on this trip. Not on this one. I'm in Malaysia right now. I mean, let me just tell you, first of all, about Penang. I've only been here a couple of days, but the hotel I'm staying at, it's a good little hotel. Bit stingy when it comes to the coffee, but apart from that, it's a good little hotel. But I realized, I've been to Penang before about 20 years ago, and I wasn't too keen on it, really, maybe because I stayed in the wrong place. I'm in Georgetown, which is the city in Penang. That's where I am again. That's where most people seem to stay. But what I noticed is that I really have touched lucky with this hotel because it is right on top of the nightlife. You walk out of the door here and there's tons of bars and And I was watching a live band last night, and it's all within walking distance of the hotel where I am. So it really, really, really is a very, very good location, this. Really good location. And as for the alcohol, well, there's some places that are really expensive with the alcohol. I mean, the other day, there's a well-kept bar here, which I won't name, but it's a really, really nice bar, and it might even be run by British people, and it's it's the kind of place you want to be there. I bought 3 pints of ale, right, and it cost me the best part of 20 quid for three. They're about 6.5 quid a pint in this bar, and I thought that's ridiculous. That, but I went down Love Lane. I'm not far from Love Lane if you Google that on Georgetown, Penang. And there's bars there where you can get far more reasonable beer, and there's a lot of life there, and I was watching a really good live band. So this is a good location, good location. Anyway, what was the question again? Yummy, lovely stuff. Steady, been having a great time catching up with all the videos of yours I missed during the holiday season. Okay, good for you. Anyway, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. El Terrifico. I don't think Harry should have been told all those steady Eddie stories. How rude. Okay. Cheers. Nice to hear from you, mate. David Coleman. Prince Andrew went to school in Canada. That's where he learned how to go to the after. Oh, we don't want to go into all of that. Don't want to go into all of that. Lovely stuff. Especially enjoyed the stream in a helicopter bar after losing that hot girl to the old regular customer. 5-star code. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Cheers. Super nice. Right on, pathetic. And the opera interview was pretty pathetic too. Oh yeah, Meghan done an interview with opera. Where aren't they pathetic? These people, all these millionaire celebrities, they have a little bit of a problem. The next bit, go to opera. Go to opera, Wembley. Go to mummy. She'll cry on you. What a load of bollocks it is. What a load of bollocks. What a load of bollocks. I mean, I actually think, opera, if you've got personal problems, why would you go and share it with some, multi-millionaire in front of millions of people? Just keep it to yourself, man. It's obvious that money they're motivated by money. That's what they're motivated. Book deals, millions, all this kind of crap. David Walters, nice to hear from. Okay, David Walters, nice to hear from you, mate. Capo 17, evening again, and chat. Evening, are you in America or somewhere? Because it's morning here. David Coleman, traveling can be really. It can be. I mean, in the olden days, I've done some mega bus journeys. I don't like taking internal flights, even in continents and massive. I don't want to say on continents, and I don't mean like I've been eating too much curry. I mean in continents of as in the South American continent, whatever. I took mega bus journeys. I've traveled from Rio de Janeiro all the way down to Porto Alegre in Brazil. You're talking 18 hours journeys overnight. Argentina, I've done 20-hour bus journeys to Argentina. Bolivia, 18-hour bus journeys through Bolivia and Peru and countries like that. And I've done it, and I'm glad that I've done it. I mean, stopping off at roadside places, and you see the local people there. It's a great way of doing it, but I don't want to do that again. I think the other day I done a 5-hour bus journey from Kuala Lumpur to Penang, and I think 5 hours is about enough for me. I don't want to be doing any longer than that anymore. I've done all that. Lee James, can we see a David Coleman and Steady Eddie manager on live stream? He hasn't proposed to me yet. Stephen O'Connor, nice to hear from you, Steve, in Cambodia, Phnom Penh. Harry grew up knowing he would never be a major player. He should support the tradition like all the other spares and work together for greater good. Yeah, I mean, I've no sympathy for people who grow up in privileged backgrounds. I mean, some of us, me included, I was brought up in bloody poverty. You know, I had a really, really tough childhood, tough early life. And you know, I'd have given anything to have lived in a big house and driven a big car and have all the millions and have a glamorous ex-actress missus and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, you know, I've no sympathy for all these rich, spoiled, rich kids, even if they think that they're hard done by, because you know, no sympathy for them. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, yeah, good comments anyway, Steve. I hope you're doing okay in non-pens, Steve. And I mean, great to meet you anyway. I will be back there again sometime. Definitely, definitely. Nice to meet you, mate. Let's see. Lee James, the Royals live near me as landowners. Office is 5 minutes away. Okay. Okay, fine. Hypocritical reject. David Coleman traveling can make you really hard. Okay, well, make me please that comment. David Coleman, Henry VIII was a spare, and look what he got up to. He was a bit of a lad, Henry. I wouldn't do what he done, you know, chopping off his missus's heads. Oh, there've been some bastards in the royal family, haven't there? I mean, you know, chopping off his missus's head, because you know, apparently one of his missus had a bit of hanky panky behind. Yeah, you know, she was brave, wasn't she? But no. Henry VIII, there's been some bastards in the royal family. Daniel Mills, remember that film, The Man in the Iron Mask? I believe it was a famous book, wasn't it? You know, Alexander Dumas, was it? Was the same guy who wrote The Three Musketeers? Capo 17, Harry and Meghan today deny saying that the family are racist, but that they all have complained about. But that's all they complain about since day one. Strange. Oh, bloody hell. Harry and the whole family, they can all slag each other down. It's all quite funny and whatever. The point is, when he goes on about what he said about his military, his military, successes. 20, he should keep his mouth shut about that. David Coleman, even at his radio operations in Afghanistan, and come out, he said he's okay. Be more, Ron. Hello, Ron. How are you? Ron's in Thailand. Nice to hear from you, Ron. Good to. Hope you're having a good time, mate. Anyway, hope you're having a good time. Nice to hear from you, mate. Brent L, I was in Penang in 2018. I didn't really enjoy it that much. Well, I was in Penang about 20 years ago, and I didn't really like it because I in them days I didn't have the internet. I followed the Lonely Planet guide, and I remember the Lonely Planet guide painted a picture of Penang as who would not like Penang, well, I must have stayed in the wrong area because I just couldn't get into this place. It didn't have the charm that I was expecting. But this is better. This is already better. I'm on top of the nightlife, and I had a good night out last night. It was really, really nice. There was a live band. Lots of young people about. Young backpackery type of people. But well, sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's good when you see lots of young backpackery type people, because that means if they're drinking in bars, then those bars are not too expensive, and they tend to congregate where the better value is. You see, because like I said, in case you didn't catch that, what I said a moment ago, the first hour or so that I arrived in Penang, I went to a very, very nice bar, and very, very well kept and quite a glamorous bar, and 3 pints of beer cost me the best part of 20 quid. So I thought, sod that for a game of soldiers. But I was hanging around the Love Lane area of Penang last night, and it was good. And one thing about here, beer is expensive, but you can get better value beer if you look for it. But one thing about it, food is cheap. Food is good value. You do get good value food. Food is on a par with Cambodia, cheaper than Thailand. So it's it's okay. It's okay. Let me see now. Stephen O'Connor. Harry's only looking for attention because he feels hard done by. He's looking for the woke support of the younger generation. Him admitting all those killings will turn him against him. I know. I mean, the thing is, that's something you'd expect the other side to do. Boast of. I mean, come on. When that was going on, I don't want to talk too deeply about it. Oh my God! Oh my! There was some heartbreaking things. The report that really gutted me, really got me, was what they call a green on blue killing, when these soldiers were in a tent, and and they they were training this Afghan fella to to be a soldier. Little known that he was actually one of the Taliban, and he waited till we were all sitting there having the dinner. I think there was about five of them. And he bloody machine gunned a lot of them, and then escaped over to the Taliban. I mean, that is just heartbreaking. That is inhuman. That is absolutely heartbreaking when you hear things like that. But for Harry to come out and boast about, we all know like they're bastards they are. We all know that. But for Harry to come out and boast about killing 25 people, we should be better than that. Harry should be better than that. Yeah, we should. It's dreadful. And he will lose a lot of fans to it. He's become quite pathetic, really. David Coleman, Eddie, stop complaining about the lack of coffee, you cheap bastard. I was prepared to spend money on coffee. I got up knowing that I've only got two little teensy-weensy sachets of it. And I like about half a dozen cups of coffee before I leave the hotel. So I got up and I went across to the convenience, and they haven't got any. Oh, that's not a good start to the day. Glentel, whoops, 2019, they put signs on the hotels, no beer in there. Oh, that's no bloody, I've got beer in my hotel. I've got beer in the fridge. No problem with that at all. Lee James, the roles of massive landowners, they have paid many mortgages. Okay. Oh, yeah, Capo 17, Harry was pulled up in Afghanistan for racist comments he made over a fellow officer. Yeah. yeah, I remember that one. Remember, it was quite funny. I thought that was quite funny, that one. Anyway, we're not going to repeat the word, okay? We're not going to do that. But that's while he was serving. He did, and it was caught on film. The only answer that, when you're in a manly environment, I mean, okay, we can all be politically correct, but when you're in a manly environment, whether it's a locker room, whether it's on the sports field, whether it's whether it's in the barracks, I mean, do you expect everyone to behave politically correct then? I mean, do you really expect everyone to behave politically correct then? You have nicknames, you have derogatory names for people, but it's sometimes often it's in good humor. It's in good humor, and I know that Harry made a racist comment to one of his fellow officers. But he called him his friend, his something friend. Yeah, that's as I recall. And when it comes to making comments like that, let's. What did Jesus say? He who was without sin, may he cast the first stone. I think we've all done stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't hold that against him. Brancel, Harry has lost the plot. Absolutely, maybe his plot is. Maybe the plot that he's got is racking up in his bank account. That's probably the case. David Coleman, it's not going to end well for Harry. You can see he has mental issues. I don't know. I thought it was bloody trendy in this day and age to say you got mental issues. A lot of them do that, don't they? Isn't it trendy in this day and age to say, "Oh, I'm bipolar"? I mean, I know that's terrible. That might sound terrible, but I've met people who claim to suffer from this sort of stuff. Bollocks all wrong with them. It's the sympathy vote, isn't it? Lee James, Harry and William are part of change in the UK. History says this. To change. How would he change? The rules have The royals have always acted like bloody numpties. I mean, the thing is, I would have said that Harry and William were a big improvement on Charles and Andrew. Yeah, Charles and Andrew, the previous royals. But when you think about it, nowadays, there isn't a lot of difference between them. I mean, William is more like the Charles, isn't he? And Harry is more like the Andrew, really. You know, so there's not a lot of difference between them. Alistair Taylor, greetings. Okay, thank you, Alistair. Nice to hear from you. Alistair Taylor, did you get fit in KL trying to find a beer? There's plenty of beer there. It was pretty expensive. Lee James, prices in tourism have gone up to. Don't you figure that one out? Jeff say, okay, thank you for that. $10. Cheers, thank you for that super chat. Something for the beverage fund. That'll get me a nice big bag of coffees, that will, anyway. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate that. Kiki and Jasmine, conservation is second nature to Rose. Didn't want them to tend to get in bed with a certain Austrian in the 1930s. Yeah. I think okay. Yeah. Well, that's going back a bit far from me. But there's always been controversy with the roles, haven't you? I mean, look at Fergie was funny, wasn't she? I mean, the biggest. It's not the fact that she was such a troll, but I could never ever understand how Andrew, who was knocking off all these glamorous women, would end up with a trollop like Fergie. You know, with this, he was our hero, wasn't he? From the late 70s to the early 1980s, he was a lad about town. You know, he was with a different model every week. Good for him. You know, Andrew was a real bit of a lad, he was. And then he kind of I think when Charles and Di got married in 81, they kind of disappeared from, Andrew kind of got pushed in the background. Charles and Di took over everything in the early 1980s. They were the ones who were always in the limelight. And then Andrew made a comeback in about 85, was it? Announcing that he was getting married. And then we thought, who's he getting married to? Some glamour queen, some model? No, this is him getting, God, she's a fat trollop. She's always, Jesus Christ, where the hell did he get her from? All the glamorous women he could have had, and he ended up with her. I mean, I thought at the time that must be an arranged marriage or something like that. But then she turned out to be, she had her financial advisor sucking her toes and oh my God, they've always been wackos, haven't they? They've always been wackos. Mr. Barefoot Barry, greetings from New Zealand. Okay, nice to hear from you. David Coleman, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. These are Henry VIII's 6 wives. We all learn this in school. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded. Oh, God almighty. Jesus Christ. He lived a colourful life. He died of syphilis, didn't he? Dirty bastard. Okay. Ray. Hello, Mucker. A bit late to stream, but I had to climb down off Lisa. Oh, God almighty. David Coleman, where is Lisa Dale? I don't know. Maybe she doesn't love me anymore. Alistair Taylor, Uggy didn't fall from that height, Ray. Okay. Let's see. David Coleman, Canada is spending $19 billion on the new F-35 fighter jets. Who are we going to fight? It's crazy. Oh, my God almighty. Philip Mulville, Eddie, 6 Chinese in your way. I'm reviewing this. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, do we? We haven't even mentioned this in this stream. The fact that Thailand has done another Yui. I mean, you need to show proof of your vaccinations. And then the next minute, no, you don't need to show anything. You don't need to show your proof of, oh, Jesus Christ. It's all bloody crazy. Anyway, for those who don't know, we can now go into Thailand without showing proof of our vaccinations. If you haven't had the jabs, then you can go in without a problem and all that. It's all bloody crazy. But with the Chinese, going back into Thailand, you don't know. Maybe the levels will start going up again. You don't know what's going to happen next, do you? You just don't know what's going to happen next. Stephen O'Connor, Lisa Dale, more cushion for the push. I don't know where Lisa is. My estranged troll. Capo said, Ed, will you be in Thailand when the elections are on? 2 full weekends of alcohol bans. When does this take place? 2 full weekends of alcohol bans. When does this take place? I'm not so sure when that takes place. I will be in Thailand sometime, but I don't know when that takes place. Life Utopia. I'd seen a lot of vegan restaurants popping up around Bangkok. What are your thoughts on vegan cuisine? I think it should be kept to the vegans. It sounds pretty, but I'm a meat eater. I like cows and pigs and all. I like eating stuff like that. No, I'm not a vegan. David Coleman, the UK spends $66,000 painting the police cars in LGBTQ colours. This is the change. Oh my God, that is absolutely bloody awful. Oh, that is absolutely awful. Let's see. That's absolutely awful. We don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. Where are we? I missed that one anyway. Okay, David Coleman, the UK spends $66,000 painting the police cars now. That is just absurd, bloody absurd. Yeah, rainbow colours now. The world is becoming stupid. The whole world's. I believe in freedom of choice and all that, but not when you're spending $66,000 of taxpayers' money. Okay, so anyway, where are we now? 38 minutes in here. So this is like a little old morning stream on the Steady Eddie live channel. I'm in Penang in Malaysia. That's not Penang behind me. That's Hua Hin in Thailand. But now that everything's relaxed, everything's relaxed in Thailand. I still don't know because I'm trying to research this. I'm not entirely sure about this. But if I enter Thailand by overland, one of the islands, can I then still get a 45-day visa? I know this 45-day visa on arrival is still in effect if you arrive by plane, but does it apply to land borders? Or I've got to check that one out. But I'm in Penang at the moment, and there's things to do here, so I think I'm going to enjoy myself. And next, I'm off to Langkawi. So I think there's still some good stuff coming up anyway. Philip Mulville, this new chai's flavour is a real butcher. Capo 17, May the 7th election. No, I'll be out of here by then. I'll be out of here by then. Alistair Taylor, they'll be mistaken for Mr. Whippy with one of those guys. Why's going to a bloody police car asking for an ice cream? Capo 17, many people cancel flights only to find out 3 days later they could have travelled. It's nuts. It's absolutely obscene. It's dreadful. Totally awful. And so I'm absolutely stupid. And I'm going to make a cup of coffee. La 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 la. Just look at this, two tiny little bags of coffee. I mean, God almighty, how stingy is that? How stingy. What's this? Up to me. Road land borders only get a 30. Oh, you need to fly in to get 45 days. Well, how would I do that then? How would I do that then? Could I fly from Langkawi to Phuket? Something like that? See, that's what I thought. I've been trying to research it and I can't really find it. Definitely, obviously, you've found it. Sometimes when you look at these websites, the information you're getting is out of date. It's a month ago or whatever. Up to me, up to me. Road land borders only get 30 days. You need to fly in to get 45 days. So if I flew in from Langkawi I know they've got an airport in Langkawi. No, I don't know. That's not good, is it? Thanks for telling me that anyway, mate. David Coleman, you never know what sound is going to do. They change their minds every few days at the least. Yeah, absolutely. What's that? I was to say, I looked at the kettle there, not your stomach. It is indeed the kettle. The kettle. Bit of here, to be honest with you. La 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 la. Okay. Well, nice cup of coffee beside me. Okay, let's see. Singapore Dan. CC said last night in his live stream that he got 45-day renew at the land. Okay, well, this is conflicting with what I told a moment ago. This is good. Let's see. Capo 17. Boris spent £1 million on painting the government airplane. It's scandalous. It's scandalous. The crime poverty. They're saying that there's no money in the country 1 minute, and then they're spending a fortune. But Boris spent a bloody fortune on doing up it Downing Street because he didn't like it. He didn't like the design. Let's see, Clungeville. It's the first time I've seen Steady having a hot drink. Well, I drink coffee in the. It's morning time now. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning here, and this is what I do. I like to tank. Coffee is the one thing I have to have early on in the day. I mean, I can do without breakfast, and I can do without other things, but I have to have coffee early on in the day. Let's see, Philip Mulville. Eddie, you are priceless. Thank you. Priceless. Are you saying that I look a bit like the Mona Lisa? Yeah, or whatever. David Coleman, if you do not have proof of 2 shots, you will have to have a PCR test on arrival. No, they've thrown that out the window. I mean, that was the case. That's the rule that they brought in last week, but they changed it again. You don't need to have proof of your jabs now. Going into Thailand, they've done a UE on it. So anyway, it's 45 minutes into the stream. We've waffled on a little bit about Harry and other things. Anyone else like to talk about anything? It's 11 o'clock now here. Now, what I might do is to get a Grab taxi, and Grab taxis are really, really, really good value here. Maybe get a Grab taxi down to the beach. And maybe, you never know, I wouldn't entirely rule out a live stream this afternoon from a beach area. You never know. Stranger things have happened. So where are we now? Where are we? Well, still 43 people in the chat. I'm having a cup of coffee. Okay. So I think I'm gonna like. I think I'm gonna like. I think I'm gonna like Penang anyway. Well, what it is, I decided to stay in an extra couple of days. I'm going to be staying there a whole week, whole 7 days, because I think there's quite a lot going on. Now I know a lot of people are not interested in temples and all that kind of stuff, But I think there are some spectacular things to get around. I mean, in Penang, the beach. I have been to the beach before, and it was really really lovely. But that was about 20 years ago. And there are other things going in Penang. Also, I looked at booking a hotel for Langkawi from Saturday onwards, and they seemed really really expensive. And then I looked at it from Monday onwards, and the prices got a lot cheaper, funnily enough. So I think if you book weekends in somewhere like Langkawi, then the prices of hotels are going to go up. Up to me. Can you not get a flight to the Pattaya airport, Utabo? It's in Rayong. You can get a flight to the Pattaya airport. I don't know. I've never used that airport. I mean, it's quite possible. I wouldn't mind seeing Phuket again. I wouldn't mind going there because I haven't been there for a very, very long time. So, but I'm looking forward to Langkawi. I hear. Now, I've never been there before, Langkawi. So I hear that it's duty free, so you can get a lot cheaper alcohol there. And I heard good reports about it, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'll get Penang out of the way with first of all. Anyway, Kiki and Jasmine would say, "Love my coffee too. I'm like a demon in the morning without caffeine. Absolutely, absolutely." Club fillers, afternoon side of the game. Okay. Let's see. Capo 17 standard tin of Nescafe Azera coffee is now gone up to £7. Oh no, the cost of bloody food and everything, like is rocking. I've lost touch with the UK. In a way, I kind of miss my Asda deliveries. I mean, it's kind of fun, seeing what they haven't got this week. What replacements I'm going to have, or are they going to attempt to drop off a bottle of Lamb's Navy rum with the seal still on it? Apparently at Amstel, somebody else, I think Sandra Taylor said that they had an Asda delivery over Christmas time, and they actually had two bottles of spirits delivered with the seal still on it. Don't you just love Asda? Okay. Z Bow, Eddie, is it true that you work for the model? Eddie, is it true that you work as a model in the UK? Oh, you sussed me out. You sussed me out. You sussed me. Actually, I don't know if anyone knows this. I did actually come second. I did actually once come second in a Brad Pitt lookalike competition. It was a gorilla who come first. Yeah, okay. So anyway, enough of that. Philip Mulville, Eddie's Music Box, great channel. Okay, thank you for that. It hasn't really taken up. I've done a bit of classical stuff. I uploaded a lot of, film that I've done around Romania and other places, and made videos on with YouTube's classical music, audio library. Because I've seen some stuff on YouTube where Beethoven, a video about, one of Beethoven's pieces of music has got 100 million views, and I thought, I could be missing out on somewhere now. So, steady Eddie music box hasn't really taken up, but give it a shot. There's one of those videos that's got about 8,000 or something like that on it. David Coleman, hey Eddie, I saw you on the Eyes of Owen. Owen was great. I met Owen a couple of times. Really, really good guy. And he's doing some really, really great videos, The Eyes of Owen. And I was watching one of his videos, and I seen me on it. I didn't realize he'd filmed it in Nick's Bar. It was just before I was going to go on and have an interview on Nick's Bar. But Owen's cool. He's cool. He's doing some really good videos. Capo 17. Ed or Camel goes more enthusiastic in a hotel room situation than Thai girls. It depends what they're taking. I've had nice quiet girls in both countries. I've also had bloody psychos in both countries. I mean, there was one girl that I met some years ago. Beautiful girl, beautiful, lovely body on her, and I always think of it as Jekyll and Hyde. I met her in this bar. I brought her back to the hotel, and she was so quiet and saintly and wonderful and everything. And I thought, I've got to see her again. So after going somewhere else for a week, so I came back to Phnom Penh, And I met that girl in that bar again. I thought, oh my God, I've got to go with this girl again. I brought her back to the hotel. Unfortunately, I'd made the mistake of buying her too many ciders. She liked cider. She got back in the hotel room. Oh, she was like a bloody psycho. She was like a nympho psycho. It was a real Jekyll and Hyde situation. I wasn't sure which one that I preferred. I think I preferred the quiet, demure personality of it. You know, life's like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get. Ray, Ed, have you ever had a traditional Thai massage? Not that I remember. I like the dirty ones. Okay. Rusty lid. In hotels, I always boil a kettle of tap water first, then boil some bottled water for coffee. In hotels, I always boil a kettle of tap water first, then boil some bottled water for coffee. But what do you use the kettle of? I still don't feel comfortable with that. You know, in some places, and I've seen somebody doing this in Vietnam and in Thailand recently. A hotel like you know, when there's coffee in the reception area, what they do is they get the kettle and they fill it up with tap water. Well, you wouldn't drink the tap water in Thailand or in Cambodia or in Vietnam. You just wouldn't do that. You're asking for serious problems. But they say, oh, it's okay because once you've boiled it, all the bacteria. I still don't feel good with that. And what I do with the kettle, I like to pour bottled water in there. I pour bottled water in it. Now, you may say that's not necessary. Well, I think it's necessary anyway. You know, bottled water that I've purchased out at the 7-Eleven, I pour that in the kettle and boil it. And that's how I have my coffee. I still wouldn't have tap water. I really wouldn't. Let's see. Edge that cycle girl. No, definitely not air, mate. Capo 17, cider made there a scrumpy. Oh my God, you just couldn't. It's such sweet and innocent, you know, sweet little, girl, one about 23, 24 years of age, beautiful. And then, you know, one meeting like she was all saintly, and the next, oh my God, this is too much for me. This is just too much. Let's see. Life Utopia. Ed, where's good for the soapy massage in Bangkok? Thinking of indulging before I return to the UK. The Sukhumvit area has always been really good for soapy massage. But I don't know about recent times. Don't forget, it's the aftermath of the pandemic, isn't it? So a lot of places have closed. I mean, off Sukhumvit, I don't know if it's soy. It might be soy, not soy 7. It's up that way somewhere. There was a really good massage street there, but last time I looked, I mean, it was fairly devastated. It's obviously, you know, it hasn't been put back together again after the pandemic. Let's see. Zibao, does most everyone speak English in Malaysia? Most of the people, well, yeah, most of the ones that I've come across anyway. Anyway, there we go. There's a question for you. You know, before I go. Would you do that with a kettle? Would you trust tap water from places like Vietnam and Thailand to be put in your kettle to boil it and then make your coffee? Or would you insist on bottled water, which is safer? Which would you do? Philip Morville, Eddie, do you get recognised all the time now? I've been recognised here in certain places. I'm surprised how many people recognise me in Phnom Penh and other places, and Siam Reap, and yeah, I've been recognised quite a lot. In Thailand, quite a lot. Amazed how many people. You know, you make these videos for YouTube and you put them out there, and it's only when you turn up there that you realise, you know, people actually recognise you. You know, you never think at first people are going to know my face. You know, I don't know, there's a lot of people know my face, but I'm one of the ones who shows me. I'm not like one of those sneaky, surreptitious, you know, vloggers who poke the camera where it doesn't belong and don't show their own face. Let's see, Philip Moore, yeah. See, Bao. fucking bottled water 100%. See, this is what I meant. I had this scenario in a hotel in Vietnam where, a guy was there, I said, I want some coffee. Oh, all right, fill the kettle up for you, and he put it under the tap. No. I don't want that. He said, oh, no, it's okay, not a problem at all. Basically, what he was saying is that once you boil the water, it's going to be quite safe. I still don't believe that somehow. Yeah, David Comer, Phuket is full of Russians now. They've taken over the whole island. I've heard that. Someone else mentioned something about that. Topic Bob, bottled water only or a shot of whiskey to kill all the germs. Okay. Alistair Taylor, I use bottled water. I don't think a kettle will boil long enough to kill all the bugs. I know in Thailand as well, a little hotel that I stayed in Pattaya quite recently. She said the same. Oh, no, I want bottled water in there. No, it's okay. We tap water is fine. No, I'm not having it. I like to say what you guys have said. I'm not the only one who thinks like that way. Let's see. Rusty lid. Boiling the tap water first is to sterilize the kettle. It's bottled water from there. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean, mate. Cheers for that. I hope all's well with Rusty Lid. I met Rusty Lid in Pattaya. Capo 17, I had a screamer once. Her dad owned the pub downstairs. She was so okay. Ray, I'd pour the water down the body of a naked Thai girl and fill my cup and pour it. You dirty bastard. Okay, bend over. They cook their noodle soup with water from the nearest klong in Bangkok. Noodle soup, yeah. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, I can honestly say during my travels, these travels or the ones I had earlier this year, I haven't had any stomach upset or anything like that. I've been okay like that. But when people, when these places use water, you do wonder where they get that water from, don't you? You really, really do. You do have to be a bit careful. Z-Bow, why did your parents name you Steady? No, they didn't. Everybody else named me Steady. Wherever I went, wherever I traveled, people just started calling me Steady Eddie, and I thought, what kind of stuff. Okay, let's see. David Coleman, I didn't even brush my teeth with tap water. Me neither. I mean, in England, you can use tap water. It's not a problem. But in countries like any other countries, like even Spain and countries like that, you just don't use the tap water. And if you see the state of the water that comes out of the taps in Thailand and Vietnam, so no, definitely no. In future, it's bottled water or nothing for me anyway. Okay, so anyway, we're coming up to an hour anyway. This is like a little model that we've said our piece about Harry. He's overstepped the mark. He's overstepped. You just don't do that. There's a code that you must obey at all times. An ex-soldier, a lot of people are going to disrespect him for opening his mouth about what he said about the 25 Taliban soldiers who wiping like pawns on a bloody chessboard that he was white. He's lost a lot of respect for that. It was a foolish thing for him to do. But like I say, I've got no sympathy for spoiled rich kids who fall foul of their parents and think the whole world is against them. Anyway, I'm going to finish this now anyway. I'll say thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's 20 past 11 here. I'm gonna get ready and possibly head down to the beach, get a Grab taxi, and maybe head down to the beach today. Anyway, so let's see. Anyone else? Capos 17. Cooker taps pub in UK now. Boiling water ice cold at the flip of a switch. Okay. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Anyway, it's always great to have. I may do some regular stuff. We can't do nothing about the time. I don't want to do. It's 20 past 3 in the UK now. Almost everyone's asleep. Really, there's nothing you can really do about the time. I mean, the fact is, Malaysia is 8 hours ahead of the UK and about 13 hours ahead of the States or Canada. So there's nothing you can really do about that. But anyway, whatever you're doing, if you're in America or Canada, sleep well tonight. If you're in Britain or elsewhere, then have a great day. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for tuning. Who's this now? Before I go here, Z-Bow, does Malaysia have ladybugs? Yeah, bloody see him online. One of them was eyeing me up. Jeez, it looked like a rough piece of work last night. While I was getting a burger. While I was getting a burger last night, one of them was eyeing me up. Not for me, mate. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day, a great evening, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.